Well, they're going to see my kids do the things they do every day, which is to get their computer and log into Google Classroom, see the assignments that are there for them, log into Google Docs, do some writing, do some sharing, some peer editing, commenting, working together individually, working together in groups as well as individually to create some writing, some responses to things we're doing in class, um, experiencing what language arts looks like digitally versus just paper and pencil. Things. So at the beginning of the year, it was very regimented. We're all doing this assignment. When you finish that, read your book. Then we're all doing this. There was not a lot of flexibility until I knew they could handle the different things. So once we learned Google Classroom, I could put 2 or 3 assignments up and say, work on this one. When you finish, go back to that one. Then I added other things into the fold, like freerice.com and Pinterest, things like that. So for example, this week, they're in the process of creating 3 different assignments. When they finish all 3 of them, they turn each one in at their own pace, and then they have several options for when they finish that. So we're moving from a very regimented, teacher-driven process to make sure that they know what they're doing to now they have the skills to use the computers. I can now do much more differentiation and personalization and give space and time for them to work at their own pace, for me to be available to help individually, and then for them to move on. And I always have when you're done kind of options. They can always go to those things. And we always still read, but they also have a couple of computer options too, so that there's not that downtime of what do I do now and I'm kind of bored. I haven't heard anybody say they're bored all year now. It's changing the way I approach my planning. I'm looking at putting things together in Google Docs. I'm doing a lot of planning in Classroom instead of physically on paper. It's an attitude shift and a technology shift that has really, it's surprising to me how it's kind of permeated what I do. It's good news and bad news. The bad news is there's no more saying, well, Miss Miller lost my work. But the good news is there's constant feedback. It's 100% accurate, and it's always there. So if parents come back with questions or if kids have questions, I can go back and say, let's look at the history of this document, and they can see everything that we've created together.
I'll put this on your desk. Because when you're kind of collaborating with other students, the whole sharing thing, you can share it with them and then you can work on a project together. And then Google Classroom also helps with that because Ms. Miller will just assign us something. We'll get it done in a few days and then we can just simply turn it in. No walking required or go to the turn-in box or anything. Well, in the beginning of the year we had when we didn't know each other really well, we were put into kind of groups, and we had no clue who in the world we were, obviously. And she just kind of opened a new document and had us share it with everyone in our group. And we talked to each other through that document, and we're all like, whoa, that's so awesome. And we just really liked that kind of feature.
Yeah. This has brought me to a new awareness. I feel like a first-year teacher in some ways. I love everything about this pilot project. It has given me a new enthusiasm for teaching, an excitement that I haven't had in years. I feel like a brand new teacher in the ways that I'm constantly learning how to incorporate. I'm taking 20 years of experience and figuring how can I translate those 20 years into this new, exciting, different way of doing the same kind of thing. And it has, I'm constantly thinking about school. I'm constantly reinventing ways to revisit things I know and things that I know work with kids in a brand new, fresh way. And so it has given me an exciting new attitude. I'm actually kind of surprised by what a change has made for me. Because I've always loved my job, but this is one of the best things in my entire career.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I will never go back to teaching the way I used to. I don't mean to draw a line in the sand, but I'll do it if I have to. They are mine forever. Thank you very much. This is all I have to say. The fact that you have revolutionized my teaching, you cannot have the back.
She's just a sweet, fun, loving teacher that really cares about her classes.